Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, good morning to everybody. It's the morning time. Just finished my workout, running. Brick by brick, we're getting stronger. Just trying to be the best BT, the best untouchable I can be. You know, you can't call yourself the untouchable and then not be in peak shape, so we're trying to get in peak shape. But listen, man, I wanted to talk about Vergil Ortiz because they were reporting what his next fight is. They were talking about what his next fight's going to be. And a lot of people I've seen been shitting on the matchup. They've been saying it's not a good fight. They've been saying Vergil Ortiz is cherry picking, that Golden Boy is cherry picking for him. And I'll be honest, look, I like Vergil. I'm a Vergil Ortiz fan. Anytime he fights to me, it's must-see TV, and you gotta watch Vergil. But look, they reported that his next opponent is gonna be none other than number 2 ranked in the WBO, because Vergil, for those who know, those who don't know, Vergil is ranked number 1 in the WBO. Number 2 in the WBO is Michael Mckinson. And a lot of people on the state side and a lot of casual fans don't know who Michael Mckinson is, because the only way you're going to know who he is if you're really up on your boxing, and if you're really up on your British boxing, and you take the time to watch the undercards for these matchroom shows, you know. Good boxer, man. Michael Mckinson, good boxer. Southpaw, can move, can jab pretty well. When you watch tape on him, because I went back and I watched him tape at Michael Mckinson, when you watch tape on him, nothing really stands out, you know. He's not the quickest, but he's quick. He don't punch the hardest, because his record shows you that. He only has 2 knockouts in 21 fights. He's 21-0 with 2 knockouts. So he ain't punching that hard. He's not the fastest. And, you know, he just seems kind of like a bit of a basic British fighter, but he's good. He's a good fighter. He's crafty. I think he'll be a good test for Vergil because, first of all, he's southpaw. Second of all, he can move well. Third of all, I think his record is deceiving. I think people are making a big mistake by just going off record. They're looking at the 21-0, which is good, but they're looking at those 2 knockouts, and they're saying, well, Michael Mckinson don't got no power. But if you've been watching Michael Mckinson's last couple of fights, you would know that he scored 6 knockdowns in those last 4 fights, one of which might have even been 2, but I know one of those knockdowns for sure came against fellow undefeated British prospect Chris Congo, who at the time, and this is why you gotta watch these fights. At the time, Chris Congo was getting some hype in the UK. Chris Congo, you know, was a Josh Taylor. He was one of Josh Taylor's main sparring partners for the Jose Ramirez fight. Good fighter, Chris Congo. Good long jab, you know, just a good solid fighter. And he was ranked, looked at to be someone that could come out of the UK and do some damage in the welterweight division. But Michael Mckinson stole the show. Michael Mckinson showed what he's made of. Michael Mckinson showed that, you know, there's a lot more to me than my knockout power. So I say all that to say that, you know, a fight with him and Vergil Ortiz I think is good. Because, first of all, if we're going by rankings, because I know a lot of boxing fans like to go by rankings, it is number 1 versus number 2. So you can't say Vergil Ortiz is cherry picking just because you have lack of boxing knowledge and don't take the time to watch British boxing, okay? I've seen fighters like Michael Mckinson before, like guys that you look at the record, it don't look that great. You watch them fight, nothing particularly stands out, but they do a lot of things really good. And, you know, you can say he don't punch hard, but the reality is, in his last 4 fights, he's got 6 knockdowns. One of which came against a guy that was looked at to be above his level as the underdog. So clearly, there's something that Michael Mckinson has been doing right to position himself for this fight. And being that he's southpaw, obviously, you know, if you watch him fight, there's no way in hell I could sit here and compare him to Jerron Ennis. That would be disingenuous. That wouldn't be true. And, you know, Michael Mckinson isn't as good as Jerron Ennis. He's not as athletic as Jerron Ennis, but he is a southpaw. And I think Vergil is going to have to start facing some southpaws, because whether it's Crawford he fights next, or Jerron Ennis he fights next, or in the near future, or someone else who's a southpaw in the welterweight division, maybe a Spence, he's going to have to get some southpaw rounds in the bank under them lights. And I think Michael Mckinson's it's a good test. I feel like Michael Mckinson will give him good experience. He's still dangerous enough to where if Vergil doesn't have the ring craft and he can't hurt him early, if he can't hurt Michael Mckinson early and lets him get into rhythm, it could be a fight that becomes very problematic for him. But I do think Vergil Ortiz is, he's got the aggressiveness, he's got the physical strength, he knows how to finish you when he hurts you. He's got a good jab. He showed his ring craft. this is, whether you like it or not, this is a step back from what he did in 2021, you know, against like Maurice Hooker and Kavaluskas. It is a bit of a step down, but it's still a good step because of what McKinson brings to the table. He brings the undefeated record. He brings boxing IQ. He brings the fact that he's coming in on a high, beating some of the best fighters from his country, like Chris Congo. And I just think people are being wrong and disingenuous and don't really know what they're talking about when they should on this matchup. It's a good fight. And I think if Vergil Ortiz is as good as we think he is, he should be able to get Michael Mckinson out of there within 7 rounds or less. If not, then it still shows that he's got a lot to learn and improve on. And there's no shame in that. You know, we can't rush the process. A lot of times in life, we as people, we wanna rush things. We want things now. We want instant gratification, but you gotta be patient. Everyone gets their time in life, and you know, for Vergil Ortiz, his time is coming. He's got to make sure he take care of business whenever this fight comes about. But again, it would be dumb because Michael Mckinson, in my humble opinion, from everybody Vergil's fought, you know, you look at guys like Hooker and Kavaluskas and the guy he's fought, Brad Solomon, Herrera. A lot of these guys were older, faded veterans. A lot of these guys aren't really renowned or known for their footwork. Michael Mckinson, is a guy that I think will be the first fighter that Vergil has fought where you could say his best strength, his number one strength, is his footwork. And that's where the cutting the ring off comes into play for Vergil. That's where the power jab comes into play. That's where, you know, all the subtleties that make Vergil Ortiz one of the most hyped up young fighters in boxing come into play. And I really think this is a fight where he's either gonna take a step forward and continue and march towards a welterweight title shot, or he's gonna take a step back and look bad doing it in a win or a loss. So I like the fight, and I think people are being very unfair to Michael Mckinson, and they haven't took the time to go look at his what he's actually done in the ring. And just give him a chance, man. Listen, man, you can't always go off of a fighter's record because fighters fight up and down to the level of competition. Sometimes fighters knock people out, sometimes they don't. But the reality is this: he's 21-0. He's been put in tough. He's won a couple of fights, not just the Chris Congo fight, but a couple of fights as the underdog. So give Michael Mckinson a chance. You might just be surprised. But I think Vergil will beat him. I think Vergil will stop him. But I'm looking forward to it. Whenever it gets announced, maybe I find myself at the fight, you know, because Golden Boy did tell me they'd have me back in more fights because I guess they liked me and stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You guys give me your take, my British fans, anybody out there that might know Michael Mckinson, put me on game. Is there anything I'm missing about Michael Mckinson's skill set that I should be talking about that maybe I'm missing the video? Let me know in the comments. And if anybody who doesn't know Michael Mckinson or who knows both, let me know. If you think Vergil Ortiz is going to spark Michael Mckinson, let me know in how many rounds, you know, in the comments down below. You know, make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here. Boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.